Langham. It's a sugar shred, bitch. Welcome back. They're literally in the middle of it. Round 9, getting in my running. So I'm probably going to be getting some prompts in my ear, so we'll make this a quickie. Every 3 minutes, high intensity. So, start with the basics. Update for today, weigh in right now, 233. Dropping back down another 4 pounds since last night. Really, about 7 pounds. Last night after eating throughout the day, sugar fasting, I was at 240. Water weight, food, whatever. Waking up today, 233.7. So as always, it does what it does, keeps it in effect. Snake juice has it dialed in, and the weight just keeps dropping. Today we are refeeding. One thing, if I haven't already commented to it, I have been adding fat back into the diet, slowly and how it proves. Tablespoon of coconut oil, which is about 14 grams of fat, so I mean under 30 grams, you should be good. But I've had that consistently daily. I had taken it as suggested in the morning before my workout, but I think the intensity and how that's drawing in, how it's utilized, did not sit well. I could definitely tell in tune with my body, so I could tell when it got to the fat because I started to feel queasy. And I've had that before. If you ever have something deep fried that's holding a lot of the oil in it, you feel that queasy feeling when you eat it. So I experienced that. So now I just have it in my coffee, which is perfect. Oh, I'm very creamy today. Anyway, so yeah, day 37, going in for 41 on Monday. Aging backwards, the goal is 225, so we got 8 pounds to drop. The low has been 231. I anticipate by the end of today, however I am refeeding, that I'll hit that. And if not, we've got another 2 sugar fasts, Thursday and Friday, before we can feed again on the weekend. And then, considering Monday is D-Day, the finish line, and I don't really have any big plans for the 4th. That's everybody else's holiday. My holiday is the 7th. But yeah, if anything, Sunday I may do another sugar fast just to give it all opportunity to run into the 41, the birthday, start the year at that new low. And maybe, just maybe, the sugar fast does what it does. I dial it in Thursday and Friday, and this refeed ain't gonna be too bad. I already got the food dialed in. It's right at about 2,200 calories. Just so I know what I'm eating. Got some wings my mom made last night, leftover quesadilla and rice. Then I'll have some yogurt and fruit at the end of the day. And so, actually, there's a perfect point to why the sugar fasting works for me. What up? It's that Gene Cook. Good morning. Burton, what up? Thanks y'all for joining. So, to that, the title of the video, why sugar fasting, the number one thing that makes sugar fasting work for me over every other protocol. First and foremost, for those who don't know, what is sugar fasting, the sugar diet? Sugar fasting is going to be consuming nothing but whole food, fruits, pure sugar, literally fruits, juices, honey, maple syrup, table sugar, and yes, candy is allowed inside the macros, but not the focus if you want to do it the right way. And nothing negative to it, it just doesn't have the micronutrients, so you're literally just getting sugar. It's about the equivalent of the table sugar, but then it has extra things in it, extra dangers for your teeth, extra components depending on what kind of candy you're eating. So all those things considered, just stick to the basics. But that is sugar fasting. Vegetables are okay, especially specific vegetables that are on the starchy side, corn, things like that, sweet potatoes, but really sticking to the context being the light fruits. That's where you get the most results as far as fat loss. The sugar diet is where you add lean protein and starches, or the honey diet, fruit till noon. Said a bunch of different ways, we're all talking about the same thing. So that's what I've been on for the last 30 days, and this is day 37, going in to hit my 41st birthday with the goal of 225. I started at 248, lost 18 pounds in the first 30 days, and you can go back and watch the journey for what that experience was like, the fluctuation, the ups and downs, and getting it dialed in, the exploring and the living all the way through it, all the way back to Memorial Day. Now we're coming up on the 4th, and my 41st birthday. So, the number one thing about this diet, and I'm going to have to speak up as you see we're at the street now. The number one thing about this diet that works for me is the flexibility that I get to eat. I've learned a long time ago, having lost over 150 pounds now total, in all the various ways, usually ketosis, intermittent fasting. Fact of the matter is, it's your discipline. It's what you eat, when you eat, how much of it you eat, and whatever discipline you utilize, whatever protocol, whether that's restricting your macros, restricting the protein, restricting the sugar, restricting the fat, one of the above, or restricting the calories, a low-calorie diet. It's all energy. Energy in, energy out. And of course, more muscle makes you a larger fat-burning machine. Of course, increasing that VO2 max, getting out here, getting the cardio in, allows you to be more efficient, perform better. Another capacity to that, so you get the benefits of controlling the diet, putting your body into a fat-burning state. As you sugar fast, as the absence of protein with the abundance of sugar triggers the hormone FGF21, which increases your metabolism, increases fat burning, say it with me. So, that being considered, you can do that without food and restriction, or you can do that with food. That is the number one thing, adherence. I can do this diet because I can be flexible. I have lost the most weight in this last 37 days than I have over the course of years. I have, and I don't mean by the scale, what I mean is in the living and in the time frame. 18 pounds in a 30-day period, unheard of for all the years that I've been doing intermittent fasting, all the years I've been doing ketosis, plant-based. The 6 months earlier that I lost 30 pounds, over 6 months, doing protein sparing modified fast, measuring my macros, measuring everything. And over 6 months, while that is considered fairly normal weight loss time frame, the enjoyability of it, the adherence, I've got the discipline to adhere. That's not a big deal. The context is the enjoyability, the flexibility. Since in this 30 days, drinking, socializing, eating out, not being precise on the macros as far as when I'm having a dessert, when I'm going out to eat, all that stuff, not being precise on the calories and seeing the inflammation, the bloat, the weight gain, holding food, slowing digestion. This diet is operating exactly how it's supposed to operate, and that is the number one thing. What are you going to adhere to? The diet that's going to work is the diet that you actually stick to, and that's why I always preach on this channel, you only live once. It's got to be a lifestyle for me. If you want some temporary results, go do some temporary changes, and you'll get that. You'll cross the finish line, absolutely, no question about it. It's a matter of time. It may not be as easy because, again, rule number one, how you adhere to it. So that, I have to say, is why I'm putting this in my lifestyle, and I can't see taking it out. Even after I hit the goal, let's say number 2, it's fucking delicious. Sweets. I've been on the other side. I value ketosis. It finally made something click for me. You do get to eat satiating food, and got to be honest, there are some downsides. There are, you practically ostracize yourself from normal social activity, from eating with others. You practically demonize carbohydrates, sugars, which have a bunch of benefits. It's just part of a balanced diet. There are things that are out there in life. I've never been the one to stay completely away from sugars. Even I think going into plant-based and other things, keeping fruit on the menu has always been important for me. Love watermelon, pears, mangoes. The list goes on. But now factor in with that, you can just go in and enjoy the sugar, because that's one of the biggest things I would say is the sweet tooth and the addiction to sugar, dare I say. Now, I don't know if there's truly an addictive facet. I will say it's just another angle of discipline, because I do and have shared earlier this week even how getting back to lock in the discipline is the thing. And when I know the weight that it holds, meaning if I go grab an extra tablespoon of honey, what does it really matter? If I throw another tablespoon of sugar into some coffee or some juice, what does it really matter? Sprinkle it on some fruit, what does it really matter? Now, it all does matter and add up. However, because of how this diet works, because it literally is increasing the metabolism, it is a natural drug. You are naturally increasing your fat burning capacity and capability, the natural functions that are going to give you the goal that you want. And if you can have your body autopilot that, it's the same reason. Ozempic, GLP-1, I don't know, I haven't researched and I've never been into the artificial or drug-induced. So it's the same principle as that, but the facet that it actually is just natural. And the experience of training, energy, not just living energy, but training energy. That's been another facet. Being an intense athlete, a very active person, a person who values getting out here. You see me every day. It's so easy to integrate this vlogging and taking you along on the journey because this is something I'm always doing. And it's just as simple as hitting record and talking about it with you and sharing whatever's going on. So my challenge has always been, yeah, I can water fast for 7 days. How the fuck do I keep the energy to be in the gym? And let alone, because I did when I got down to my lowest weight before, it was 247 when I lost the first 100 pounds. That was on a 7-day water fast. And your boy's looking big-headed and skinny. Your boy's having headaches. Your boy couldn't survive the working out, the running that I started at that point in life at 36. So the things that benefit and give, because who wants to be skinny fat? Who wants to, I don't. I'm not interested in that look. To each his own if you are. But my goal was never just to be thin, just to be skinny. I like athletic. I like muscle. I am 6'3" and have been for some time north of 300 pounds. So with that, I've never had a desire to have an aesthetic, below 200 pounds even. I don't really know how that would look favorably for me. So that in consideration, it makes it like fucking alchemy or something to try and sustain, because I literally just had to substitute, caffeine for energy, managing my body temperature. I've never had high blood pressure, been healthy enough, being on my diet enough to not have to be concerned about those things. And, dizzy spells in the gym, feeling lightheaded in the gym, being aware of, like overheating, running hot, headaches, like being aware of all of it. And now, mind you, on the sugar fast, do need to still balance things. Potassium, salt, hydration, very important. I experienced the cramping and stuff without having the electrolytes and minerals needed. But once that was dialed in, clockwork. So, pros and cons on all sides. But I will say, if I'm going to get the same effect, because ketosis, proper ketosis, which is low protein, in the absence of protein, ketosis does kick up FGF21. Same thing, just a different fuel source. That fuel source is not as fun. That fuel source does not feel as good, does not taste as good, does not satisfy the sugar cravings. If you don't have to battle with sugar, because I'm having delicious fruit bowls every day, I'm drizzling honey on everything, I'm having spoonfuls of honey. I've become a bit of a honey connoisseur. Shout out Thomas DeLore, talks about the benefits of honey. But with that being said, I started out with the number one thing. I gave you that and then some. I'm trying to give you all of it. I'm trying to give you the whole transparent story. YOLO. You only live once. Get on this motherfucker and live it. So with that, that's what keeps me on my journey. Let me know about yours. Drop your comments down below if you're ready to take this thing on. Give it a try. Give it 7 days. Give it 5 days. See how you feel after one day. Have one fucking meal. Hopefully you've been fasted for at least 12 hours, but give it a try. See what you can get. Tell you what, worst case scenario, on the other end, you are not going to make it out of here alive. Might as well give it a wing. In the meantime, I'm going to be right here wishing you the best and only success, being the best version of myself. What do they call it? Beyond empowered. The question is, who are you going to be? Peace.